So yeah, I'm Picture the Moon. I have a little brand. It's called Raw Reflections. Basically, it's based on media Q&As and just capturing videos and connecting with people. Creative, that's my passion. So I'm here with Deja, aka Bubblesz. I don't know if anyone saw the cover art. I want to start there. I have so many questions. I'm like, it's all over my mind. But
where's the king? Dev, pick up yourself. That is the artist that actually did my cover art. I've had a lot of people.
Go cover art.
Definitely.
All right. One thing, I don't know if a lot of people like seen it, but if you really look into it, it's a lot of subliminals.
Yeah.
Like you really gotta pay attention to the little details and stuff on there. I seen the 2 and the 5 trains. I seen the liquor store, music, jump ropes, and all that. You want to expand on a little. Oh, here it is! Yeah, here it is. You got the liquor store, the 2 and the 5 trains, the sun and the moon.
The jacket. You gonna see in the video.
All right. So we got a lot. What I guess influenced you to do it?
Yes, so thank you so much again for being here. So, and thank you, Dev, for this cover art. So, you know, a lot of you may not know that I went through like about 3 different people to do my cover art prior to working with Devin. And so I've been doing a lot of back and forth trying to get my vision out there because I know that I'm a very creative person and that I can't have the song name Impact and me being this artistic creative person and, you know, it not represent that. So as far as the different things in the cover art, what it really expands on is what the song Impact really talks about is about, like, the first line that I say is debating, cause I ain't even get no saying. Where I came from, the experience I'm calculating. So it's like, literally, we're not able to always choose exactly where we were born, what environment that we were born into, what family, what type of financial situation that we have. However, just because there are certain things that's going on around your community doesn't mean that you have to be susceptible to it. There's always about impacting, and even like going about the talking about my hook, impact, react to the facts. And it's really about making an impact in whatever situation you're in, reacting and just being like, you know what, I understand that this environment may not be the best one, however, I'm gonna react and make a difference, and that's a fact. So, you know, like, it's really just about, let's talk about it. Yeah. So I'm like a teacher. Okay, so class, you know, I'm really big on, like my lifeline number is 3, and I'm very big on not feeling one way about something or not a second way. Like, it's not about good and bad or up and down. True word. Okay. So, it's all good. But basically, what it talks about is like life. So we always, no matter what happens in your life, you're always being tested. So it's like you can have a positive day. You can wake up in the morning, you can be having such a great day, but then that one thing happens and you have the choice though. You do have the choice. Are you going to let it affect your whole day? Now you're angry and now you're upset and now you're cursing people out. Now, you know, just things is not going or growing for you. Or you can be like, you know what, you can take a step back. Cover art really depicts is about the good and the bad, because really all of it makes us who we are. So the good and the bad being the sun and the moon, and just like talking about like the duality with it. The slave ship that's in the back, it's really like, it's like, and I know not everyone probably caught it, but it's totally fine. The slave ship is in the back, and it's just like, you know, I didn't choose where I came from, though I may not have lived at those times, but I know that, you know, a lot of times I meet people and they're so familiar with where they come from, and it's really, I could be like, yeah, I come from the Bronx, but when I can't really expand that much on my background because I was brought here. Like, I don't know really where I came from. So that's why I'm really into like digging down in my roots and really learning and getting as much knowledge as I can. The liquor store in the back, there's a bloody knife on the floor, there's dice. So it's like basically all of these things are going around in my community. However, I'm meditating and I'm able to live through it and push through it. It doesn't matter what is going on. I'm still.
You know, I follow you on IG and I've been doing my homework.
Okay.
All right.
Yes, like a journalist.
And I seen one of your posts that you made, and you was kind of just reflecting and speaking on how there was a time period, I think like 2 or 3 years ago, where you kind of struggled with yourself and your music, on how like people would view you. You kind of like question yourself, even if you were good enough, if your work was good enough, because nowadays music is kind of less based on
sex.
Especially sex, shaking your ass and all of that stuff, and you're kind of doing conscious music
and killing people.
Speak a little bit about how you kind of overcame that journey and how you're just like so consistent in your work right now. Yeah.
So I'm glad that you brought that up. So David couldn't be here today, but David, for those of you who don't know, Hitman D, that's my cousin, and he's a producer, and I basically grew up in his room, like just making music. We were rapping all day, we made songs all day, so my music, I've actually reflected on some of the old music that I used to make, and it doesn't sound like my stuff now. I still have flow though, don't get me wrong. But no, I was just speaking on different things, and I realized with music, it naturally comes out whatever you feel at that moment, whatever level of vibration, whatever frequency you're vibrating at that time, that's what comes out through your music. And because I'm on such a spiritual path within myself, loving myself, learning myself, it's really that's why my music is speaking the way it is, because that's what I'm going through,
So what helped? What was it? Where did you get the strength to say, you know what, just fuck it, I'm gonna just do my thing and just don't care about what other people think?
To be honest, what happened was one of the first performances, probably, I went with Crystal. We actually went to this poetry, it was like this poetry open mic or something, and then she encouraged me like, oh, go perform something. So I was like, okay, sure, I'll go perform. So I actually performed, and the reaction that I got is like anyone who's an artist or anyone who's really leaving in their passion, is an indescribable feeling for people to really love what you're saying, see your message, see your vision, and they don't even know you, and they're like, Bubblesz, Deja, you are amazing. I'm like, I love you too. It's like music is the universal language, and that's.
You just mentioned your first performance that you did. I'm gonna bring up the first performance I seen at you.
Okay.
I seen it at Voice Out. It was at Voice Out. Yeah, shout out to Voice Out. Yeah, shout out to Voice Out. Located on 233rd every
942
942 East.
the whole address, like 233rd.
942 33rd.
Make sure you
Voice
go.
Out.
But yeah, so the first performance that I saw of you was at Voice Out, and it was I forgot the name of the song. You did perform it tonight. It was actually, no, not Type. That's my second favorite.
Okay.
But it was the one about your brother.
Okay.
And I remember seeing you, and I'm like, damn, she got so much fire. Like, wow, she's so little but so energetic. Like, yo, right?
Yeah.
And even listening to the words, I realized that I didn't even know you then, like fully like that. You know what I mean? But just listening to the words, I realized through the words that your brother has impacted you in a certain type of way also, and has kind of drawn you to the music. You want to speak about how, I don't want to get like all sappy and stuff, but you want to speak about how your brother's journey and how he's like brought you closer to you doing your dreams and music in a whole.
Yes, definitely. Thanks for asking. So what happened was the first song before, even though Impact is my first single release, it's actually the second song that I really wrote through. And I mean songs, I've written songs in the past, but the second song that I wrote through, basically vibrating on this frequency, like being very conscious and aware of things. So the first song that I wrote, Tie My Hands, which was the one that I performed second, at the time that I was writing those lyrics, I remember a lot was going on in my life, and that's the same time where Donald died. And he didn't just die like he was shot, he was killed. It's not something like he was sick and and he was the only, because I'm an only child on my mom's side, and on my dad's side I have siblings, and he was the only one I could be like, this is my little brother, like, because I'm the baby now, like I'm the baby sister. So it was very, when it happened, it's like when you have close deaths happen to you, it starts to make you realize about life. You're like, you know what? We don't know our last day. We don't know how long we have on this earth. So honestly, when I was writing, I remember writing and just thinking about him like, you know what? I'm going to just do this. And then something that I heard from my other sister was that my little brother was like writing raps and stuff. So that even pushes me more. I'm like, oh, he was writing, so we could have had something else together. So, just thinking about how he was younger than me and he died at such a young age, I'm just like, I need to live in my truth now, because I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So he really inspired me with that, and just self-reflection, and just dealing with that. I was just like, yo, I gotta do this. I have to do it. So
Right.
yeah, like I have to.
Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Next question. I know a lot of artists, like, they do things differently, like, per se musicians. Sometimes some of them listen to instrumentals and they get inspired by instrumentals. Some just write and then they find an instrumental. Explain your creative process. Like, how is it that you create music? Are you write and then you find an instrumental, or explain it to us?
So to be completely honest, I do whatever my vibe is. So I could hear a beat one day and I'd be like, I just start right into it, and then like I could start with the beat, and then I could also just hear like lyrics in my head, and then I'll write it down, and then I'll find a beat like this king right here, how he just gave me the beat. You know, I didn't really have a whole beat to that song that I wrote, but I'm just like, yo, I hear something in my head. And I feel like, honestly, being a rapper, you have to know how to flow on different beats. And shout out to Voice Out again, because working with the performing in front of a live band, a lot of the times performing in front of the live band, I did not have the original beat I wrote the song to. Even the first time I performed Impact, it wasn't to the original beat. It was just to them, you know, vibing out. So it's about, so I feel like it helps me when I'm like, okay, I know the lyrics, let me see how I can flow on this vibration, let me see how I can flow with this, you know, because it helps me as an artist to be able to flow on anything. You know, I could do it a cappella, I could do it in a beat, you gotta be versatile. So that's honestly, even with Impact, like, I just remember I was listening to a beat one day, and then with other songs, I just started thinking about lyrics, and then I put a beat behind it. So I just really, my creative process is, I would just say, it is pretty just authentic. Like, it just comes to me, like, because I'm a creative at heart. So yeah, I'm just like a creative.
I'm just creative.
Yeah.
She's just creative, you guys. She's just creative.
But to be honest, the best way that I can describe myself is a creative. I am an artist. I share whatever I feel, however I feel it to be, whether it's in poetry, whether it's in rap, whether it's in being an MC, being a singer, songwriter, anything that I just share through words.
What would you say your goal in your music is?
Well, to be honest, impact. I mean, literally, my music is more to me than about money. It's more to me than about being famous, being in luxurious places, even though, you know, that'd be cute too, like, that'd be cool. But, you know, to be honest, I'm really willing to spread this message. I don't know what is going on with the music right now. Like, I don't know what's going on. But remember, music is the universal language, and it's literally the most strongest power, like, in this world. Like, think about when you're sad, when you're upset, when you're angry. Like, there's certain music that could either affect that mood or even uplift you from a negative mood. So music is really something that can change the world. And to be honest, my goal is to change the world. People look at me and they're like, oh yeah, you can't change the world. Guess what? I'm gonna do it. And like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna spread this message. I know that I have the energy to do it. I've always felt like I was here for a deeper purpose, and now that I'm doing it through my music, it's like I know that that's it. Like, I know that this is for me.
Yeah, I was about to say, well, if you were solely focused on music, what would you be doing? I know you mentioned fashion. Every time I see you, you're always like, if y'all know Bubblesz, she's always like dressed to the T.
Thanks.
I would say fashion. Would it be fashion?
Well, I work in fashion now. So I work in fashion now. My background is fashion marketing. I really love to style. That's really my thing. You know, so my background, so what I do as a full-time job is fashion. So that's what I do right now until my music get popping. Because fashion is always going to be a part of me. That's what I had to realize. Fashion is always going to be a part of me. Every time I go on that stage, you know you're going to see something new. Like, it's always going to be able to work on my music and just consistency. And I believe in myself because I know this is meant to be. And I know that I'm going to be able to make music one day, full-time, travel in the world, spreading my message. I know I am. Like, I feel it.
Like, so self-love, and then you're speaking it. It has to manifest. Yes. Like, it has to come to you.
It's already manifested.
Yes,
like, it's already manifested.
It's coming.
Starting to, you know, shift the energies that should.
You just mentioned platforms. You want to let the people know on what platforms can we find your music?
Sure.
And if you do have any new songs, any shows coming up, let us know what's going on.
Yeah, so you can find me on all musical platforms, and that would be including, but not exclusive to, Spotify, Apple Music, Google Music, SoundCloud, Deezer, Napster. I'm on all of the bigger platforms. So whichever is like your music preference, I'm there. It's under Bubblesz, and it's spelled, S and Z and Impact. And then also I'll be officially releasing Tie My Hands, my cover song. I'll officially be releasing that next month. And what I'm going to do right now, what I'm working on is just releasing singles, building momentum, getting better, and then I'm going to come out with my project, so my project is fire.
Debating, cause I ain't even get no saying. Where I came from, the experience I'm calculating. Lot of pros and cons came out that situation. Used to blame it on the hood, then I stopped my speculation. My choices will choose the same bed that I lay in. Sometimes I'm choosing World Star over meditating.